The woman merely moved her finger. The fallen leaves on the ground instantly transformed into sharp swords, taking the lives of many skilled warriors. From then on, she became the most powerful empress. But in the blink of an eye, a bolt of heavenly lightning struck. When she opened her eyes again, she found herself in an unfamiliar world. Beside her was a drugged man. Just as it seemed the man was about to unleash his bestial nature, she directly kicked him flying with one foot. At this moment, the prince consort charged in with his men to catch her in the act. Obviously, this was a pre-arranged trap. She quickly finished absorbing the original owner's memories, then coldly spat out 3 words, "Go out and kneel." The man thought the princess was going to punish him for his offense. He was about to head out, but little did he know the woman was referring to the prince consort. Everyone present was stunned. After all, everyone knew the princess was devoted to the prince consort. In the past, in order to please the prince consort, she could set aside her dignity and accommodate him in every way. All these years, even though he humiliated her in 100 ways, the princess still remained utterly devoted to him. But now she was the most powerful empress. The prince consort was still being domineering as usual. As a result, he was met with a resounding slap. The humiliated and angry prince consort started lecturing again, criticizing her for not being a virtuous wife, and claiming he only loved gentle and considerate women. In the past, the princess would have timidly apologized. However, today's princess couldn't be bothered to waste words. She directly took action and crippled one of the prince consort's arms. Then, with a casual palm strike, she knocked this waste of space to the ground. Then she had the servants drag him out. At this time, the princess looked at the man to the side. The man was the princess's most loyal bodyguard. Even if the princess ordered him to die immediately, he would execute the order without hesitation. The man knew he had made a grave mistake this time and was waiting for severe punishment. But the princess told him to remove his mask. When she saw the man's handsome face, her eyes lit up. It would be a pity for such a good-looking man to die. So she pulled the man over and personally used a special method to detoxify him. Then the princess issued another order, revoking all of the prince consort's privileges. This decision stunned the servants. The formerly useless princess had finally toughened up. Even the guards straightened their spines. Soon the princess took the bodyguard to bathe. Not only was she completely unabashed, she even had the man strip and give her a back massage. The man did as told with trepidation, not daring to let his eyes wander. From the bodyguard's mouth she learned. It turned out he was poisoned because of the wine gifted by the prince consort. Then she pulled the man over and domineeringly declared, from now on he belonged only to her and would only obey her orders. At this time, the third prince arrived at the prince consort's room. Originally, the third prince had hoped the prince consort would control the princess for his use. He never imagined the princess's sudden change in temperament would cause the plan to completely fall through. So the next day in the court hall, the third prince gathered his faction to remonstrate against the princess's cruelty and lack of benevolence with their lives on the line. Immediately after, the princess asked the remonstrating official with interest, asking if he truly dared to remonstrate at the risk of death. Upon receiving an affirmative reply, she smiled and praised the other party's loyalty. The next second, she suddenly drew her sword and slayed him. This decisive act of slaughter shocked everyone in the court.